you have certification and accreditation as a criteria. And that's sort of the technical part. And then comes the non-technical part. And I look at 4 basic criteria when you're choosing your coach, especially an executive coach. Number 1 is corporate experience. If I wanted to choose a fitness coach, I would want to choose someone that's an athlete, would probably be better than a non-athlete at being a fitness coach, just because of the experience. And the same thing applies for an executive coach. A lot of times, one of the choices that people look at in choosing a great executive coach is, do you have corporate experience? Have you walked the steps that I've walked? Have you undergone the pressures that I've been under? And do you understand the political part of what happens in an organization? So that's the first criteria. The second, and probably the most important, is chemistry. If you don't have chemistry with your coach, there's a high chance that any coaching effort is going to fail. Because without chemistry and connection, you won't have trust. And when you don't have trust, you really don't have that back and forth conversation and dialogue that helps improve performance. Number 3 is confidentiality. With every coaching client that I have, we sign a non-disclosure agreement, so we can talk about anything. And you want to be absolutely sure that your coach maintains the ICF standards of confidentiality, because you want to be able to talk to that coach about anything, things you can't talk about with your staff, things you can't talk about with your peers. You want to war game ideas, but confidentiality is an absolute must. And the last part of choosing a coach, I call it courage and empathy. And you have to be equal-handed in both. Number 1, your coach has to be courageous enough to give you unvarnished, transparent feedback. One of the things I learned in corporate America is the higher up I got, the more the information was modified and made pretty on its way up. And so by the time it got to me, it looked nothing like it was generated at the source. And so a lot of times what senior leaders need is really transparent, unvarnished truth about their performance, about their strengths, about their opportunities for improvement. And the other hand is, you got to have empathy. You have to be able to put yourselves in the shoes of your client. And that goes back to that corporate experience. You have to be able to understand the pressures that they're under. You got to hit a quarter. You have a board you have to report to. You have to be able to rally the team, inspire the team, create the vision, have the mission, and the myriad of things that an executive has to go through. So even-handed with being a courageous coach, to be able to deliver that feedback and connection, and be empathetic in order to understand what that executive is going through. So if you have those 4 things, along with the technical accreditation, I think you pretty much have a safe bet on a pretty good coach.